Hello, my beautiful people from Untouchable Mama. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Please do not forget to subscribe and press the notification button. Thank you. One love. Bye bye.
Good morning, the Chairman, Human Rights Defender and Access to Justice Advocate Center, our legal department, every viewers, co-comrades in the house, within and diaspora. My name is Mrs. Solution, live from Ikejalen Avenue branch. We have a case between Mr. Adodo Festus and Monaco Ventures Nigeria Limited on unlawful dismissal. This case was reported in this office on the 4th of June 2020 against Monaco Nigeria Limited. We have these parties here, both the complainant and who to respond to the accusation. Please join us as we interview them. Thank you. And this is to inform everyone, our viewers, our members in this platform, that any case treated in this platform is not permitted to be uploaded or download to any other social media except on this platform on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels on Access to Justice TV. Thank you. All right, Mr. Adodo Festus, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, reported a case. No, you station, stop bending your head. You don't need to look at my face.
All right, ma'am.
Yeah. You reported a case in this office on unlawful dismissal against Monaco Ventures Nigeria Limited, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, briefly explain to the house the details of your case. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Festus Adodo. I started work in Monaco 2015, to be precise, January 19th. So I'll be working there. My salary was 30,000 when I started. So after 2 years.
January 2019.
Yeah, to be precise, 19th January, yes. I started, okay. Yes. So my salary was 30,000 when I started work there. Yes, there was upward review of the salary to 43,000. So since then, I've been there. There was no other review. So I need upward review of my salary. I said I should wait because as it is, I always listen to his advice because it's like a father to me in that context. I patient that they will be review. Even the chairman and the direct driver to the chairman, whenever he's around, I take him around, I take him home to Agbo sometimes, to his village, we spend time, he treats me as his son. But I was still complaining that this salary had to be reviewed because the new drivers that was coming
You started 19 January 2019.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were earning 30,000. 30,000.
Yeah, so 2017.
Hold on. 30,000?
Yes, ma'am.
As a driver?
Yes, ma'am.
The chairman driver or just the company driver?
I'm a company driver, but attached to the driver.
Okay, for how long did you work before your salary was reviewed?
For 2 years.
2 years. So 40 what?
3,000.
43,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then after 2 years, when again did you ask for the review of the salary?
I asked for the review of the salary 2019. Because the ones that were coming in.
Hold on. You said after 2 years your salary was reviewed.
Yes, to 43,000.
You started work 2019?
No, 2015.
2015?
Yes, 19th January.
Okay, 2015?
Yes, 19th January. Started work.
Okay, your salary was reviewed 2017?
Yes, after 2 years.
Then 2019, you asked for review of salary?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, the reason of the review that I asked was because the new intake, the ones that I interviewed was paying, they were paying them the same amount that they are paying me. I said, no, this is not fair enough that they should review my own before paying them the same salary. Because when I started with 30. How come you are bringing somebody in after close to 4 years of my work here and you are paying them 40,000? I said, this thing is not right. Then I met with the executive director, which also advised me as a father, and my colleague, then we both met him, and he said we should be patient.
But you were already being paid 43,000.
Yes.
So why are you concerned about who they paid 40,000 naira?
No, I said.
Because as at the time you started work, 2015.
Yes.
Cannot be compared to this present time.
Yeah, that is what he advised us, and we keep calm. He said when there is review, they will review us our salary, and so I said okay, there's no problem. I have to tell my boy that they should keep calm. That if there is
your
any,
boy,
my colleague, the ones under me, because I'm their head, that they should keep calm, that if there is any other increment generally, what he told us that they will increase our salary, that they should just leave them and keep the work going. So we stop.
They said they can't hear you, so you have to be audible.
Okay. So when we were all complaining that they should reveal our salary, he addressed us that we should be calm, that when there is any other upward review of salary, that they will increase our salary.
Go ahead.
Yes, so I now address my colleagues. So the work was going as it's supposed to be. So last year, December, they called a meeting and they awarded to me certificate of excellence performance, which I was very happy that. That also boosts my morale for the work. I said, okay, this is good. Then, coming to this year, there were issue of coronavirus, and the worker were asked to go for compulsory leave, while the drivers and the operations were still on duty. So we were patrolling almost night. The work was just heavy for us that period, because we were patrolling night and day during that period. So during that period, my wife gave birth in a hospital with a cesarean operation. Then I ran down to the company seeking for help for money, that I don't have enough to finance my bill. So to God be the glory, I met them. I applied for 350 bucks because my bill was around 250 to 300 because the baby was placed on oxygen. So I met them, I applied for 350,000 as a loan. They said due to my salary rate that they would not be able to give me 350. They gave me 150. So I now sourced for other means to compete is to pay my bills, which I was very grateful as well. Then leaving the hospital, because I was the only.
Dress back to the top.
Okay.
Sit
So,
on your. Speak out, please.
Okay, because I was only the one taking care of her. Sorry. After I lost the baby, which my I lost.
Alright, so sorry for the interruption. Please join us as he summarized the statement. Thank you.
Yes, after I discharged my wife, because I lost the baby, so I discharged her from the hospital. We were at home. So I went back to resume my work properly. Then after some time, I applied for my annual leave so that I would be able to take care of my wife very well, because nobody was on my aid as of that time because of the lockdown. So I applied for my annual leave and it was approved. So I went on my leave. So during my leave, I was just 2 days on my leave, which was approved. They called me that I should come back to the office. Sorry, ma'am.
Go straight to the point. I've had so much of story. I've
Yes,
given you enough time to talk about how your wife had cesarean operation.
What
is the main problem is what I want to
okay,
listen.
yeah.
Go straight to the point, please.
So after I came back from hospital, they
Leave
gave
the
us,
table,
they
sit
gave us,
comfortably,
there was a
please.
memo.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Relax, shift yourself back to your chair. Yes. Then you speak loud. Let's hear
There was a
you.
memo to us, the staff, the employees, that there will be pay cut of 25% from our salary.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, that I personally cannot take it because I'm already on low. And that low, I'm going to service that low within the period of 10 months, and they will be deducting 15,000 naira from my salary. So if you are taking away 25% from my salary, and you take pension and
That is for this period of pandemic, or before the pandemic.
they brought the memo in this period. So
Period of this coronavirus, or before now.
No, they brought it last month. This period. So I said to me, I can't take it because I will be servicing low, and after this, I will be taking.
Were you granted the loan?
Yes, I was granted the
How much?
150,000 naira as the loan.
Okay.
Yes. So I said my take home is not even enough for my transport, 13,000 naira, and I'm still need to take care of my wife at home. There's no money for me. So what I did was that my colleague was equally complaining. Every other staff were complaining bitterly. And I said, as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to go on because of the nature of our work. So if we are complaining like this, it will affect our result because it's driving. So what we need to do is to ask, put it in writing if they can consider us. If they are taking away 25% from mother, if they can consider or reduce our own, since we are the least paying worker in the field. So what we do, we now write a memo back that due to the cost of living in Lagos and some other things that they should consider us. That is what we do. So then I was on leave and I went on leave.
Consider paying the same amount of salary or reducing it?
They should consider us from the 25% that they want to cut off.
To what percent?
We did not set any percent, that they should just consider us. That is what we wrote. And I now left for my leave. So while I was on leave, but they brought my leave approval and I signed and I went. While I was on leave, I was called that I should come back, that there is termination letter for me. I said it's not proper now. They should allow me to report back. Because I'm supposed to report back this month on my leave, to finish on my leave. There is any other to be called before they complete. They say no, I should come back to take my termination letter. I said no, it's not right. I can't come while I'm on leave. I should come back to come and take my termination letter. They refused to pay the salary. They said my salary is 22,000. They deduct it for my leave. That
As at what point did they deduct the salary?
From that last month's salary.
The same month they wrote you the letter?
Yes.
Did they tell you that the 25% cut off will effect from that month? Did you have the letter?
Yeah, everything.
Are you okay? Because
Yeah,
you are just inching your body, or you have sickness in your body.
No, ma'am. They said the 25% starts from that May. I'll give you details. This was our response.
This letter was written date May 4th.
Yes, ma'am.
And no, shouldn't be. We had worked for years for remittance was not forthcoming. The nature of our job is peculiar and totally different from others. And you're managing the salary for this. During the pandemic, were you people working?
Very, very.
You're working as usual.
More than usual. We were working night and day because of the coronavirus. They asked us to be patrolling night and day. And the travel we were using was times 3. I think they did not even compensate or not even say to even encourage you for the period of that pandemic.
Photocopy.
So they prepared a sack letter and they said my salary is 22,000. I said my salary is 43,000. If you are able sack, if you ask to terminate my appointment, you deduct the 43,000 from your load to start from there. My leave, you are owing me 2-year leave allowance that you have not paid. The leave I have gone for, you have not paid me my leave. Then you are telling me that I'm owing you 123,000. How? This May I'm supposed to resume work by June. You're supposed to even pay me of this June, not even May.
So the loan you collected, the 150,000, has it been refunded?
We agreed to be paying for my salary 15,000.
So how much, like you collected the loan, which month? September?
No, April. I used it.
April this year.
Yes, to pay my bills.
And you were paid 40.
My salary, my take home is for 39,000, but the normal salary is 43 after tax and deductions. So they now give me 39,000.
39.
That's somewhere.
So, did they remove the 15,000?
From the salary.
Yes, that ought to be from the loan.
No, they said what they wrote, this is the termination letter. That my salary is now 22,000.
No, hold on. They have given you loan now.
Yes.
You are with their money.
Yes.
You are still with the money, or you have paid back the loan?
No. I'm to start paying by May 15,000.
From your salary?
Yes, ma'am.
So, and you are to be paid 20 what?
50,000 from the loan to the company.
No, hold on. If they minus the 20-something%, how much were you supposed to be paying?
If they minus the 25% from the salary, I will be left with 32,000 plus.
How much is this?
32,000. Then from the 32,000, they will minus 15,000.
Yes.
And you'll be left with 12,000.
No, from 32,000, they minus 15,000, I will be left with not 12,000. I will be left with 17,000.
17,000, sorry. Okay. Are you done?
Yes, man. That is. Then I said that they are not paying me my leave allowance, like 2018 leave allowance, 2019 leave allowance. They have not paid me, which is 30% of my annual basic salary. This is my it is written here.
2018 leave allowance
and 2019 leave allowance has not been paid. And they say when we work for 5 years, there will be gratuity. Here's the paper for 5 years.
Do you have any other document? Provide it so that we will not just be moving here and there because of you. Give us all the documents.
Yes.
These are the photocopies.
Yes, sir. This is certificate of good to me design.
Do you have your employment letter?
Yes, yeah, ma'am.
Where? Okay.
Yes. The termination letter is there.
Photocopy, right?
Yes, the termination letter. Then the leave is there as well. The letter of leave.
I'll send it.
Okay. There's no need for this. This is the gratuity letter.
You have the photocopy here.
No, this is the photocopy. I have the photocopy.
I believe you are done.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, sir. Can I still have your name?
My name is Mr. Richard.
Mr. Richard.
That's my name.
Richard who?
Moyen. N-E-M-O-N.
Moyen. Okay, you said you are the managing director?
I'm not the managing director, I'm the executive director.
The executive director. Of Monaco, right? Okay, briefly respond to what this young man said, please.
That's all I could know.
Yeah.
Good. Madam, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah. You see, when this issue of presentation and determination letter came up,
Yeah.
there was a gang up among the 4 drivers. We're having 4 drivers. And he's the head. He now liaised with them that they still were, even all the remaining staff. He said he's at least paid, he's not the least paid person. We have a cleaner, the salary is about 30,000. We have an office assistant, the salary is about 30,000. And it affected them as well, this pay to 5% cut, including myself, including the MD, everywhere. So when this letter came, they never came to me. All of a sudden, I just saw the letter. I said, wow, how can they write such a letter without, even meeting me? If they feel and they
Them
are,
or the company?
then they didn't even come to me. So I just saw the letter. I said, well, I don't have a final say. They should take the letter to the right place.
Police say they want to see his face to be sure if he's the one here.
You want your face to be shown?
Like, it's a company already, they are aware. There's nothing hidden in that company.
Well, if you want to see my face, there's no problem.
Sorry, sir.
No problem.
Thank you.
So the gang up, believing that there's no possible way that they can move forward them. I said, it's not right. This thing affected you, it affected me, up to the least person. Why not be patient? That was what I was saying. So all of a sudden, the letter came from the head office. I didn't even sign the letter. And they served them the letter. That was how they left.
Okay, but were they really working all through the same way he said, all through the pandemic?
When we were on pandemic,
Yeah.
we placed the operations, including the driver, because definitely the driver will have to drive the operations out. We placed them on 1 day work, 1 day off. They work today, who work today will not work tomorrow. Till next morning again. That's how they were working.
Was there any conception of, because they were working during that pandemic, was there any conception of that have to do with maybe they are paying them allowance for being at work while others are not,
No,
even when there is on and
there
off?
was no allowance paid to them. And we are still in pandemic. We have not come out from the pandemic. Like what I normally say, I say patience is always the right thing. Because the company has something in mind to do for those people who have to work during that period of time.
But it ought to have spurred the company ought to have spurred it out, because people working at that moment, they were risking their lives.
Yes,
and it's the reason why even federal government and state government that engage people, there are conceptions they give to that, and they were like being attended, offering at least like other allowances they were being paid at that moment, because somebody risking his own life working at that moment, I mean the period of that pandemic, there is no way you will have to like discharge or dismiss the person just like that. And this person have served the company for years.
Yes. Madam,
yes,
including myself, I was working throughout the pandemic.
That is
and
right.
I don't have the say or the final say of how to compensate whoever worked that period. I have people ahead of me.
Yeah.
I report to people. You understand? So they have not compensated anybody, so that they will not say, oh, they have settled this problem, they have not settled me. They have not settled anybody.
But was there any modality they discussed with them that some of you that are working at this pandemic period to ensure things are moving, the company is not totally shut down? Was there any modality they discussed with them as in to encourage them that in this period you are working, this is what we have for you people?
I don't have a jet to that matter. There was nothing like that. But I know that the company has something in mind to do for those people who have to work for that period of time.
Okay.
It was not stated to them, because the company can always surprise you. Just like the way they gave
that is African system.
Yes, just like the way they gave you that award. They never told you, I never know that they're going to bring an award, including myself, I collected mine. So all of it will just surprise us by giving us that award. So it is still possible that the company will come up with something.
See, I would want, because one, just like I said, we have other people out there
Yes.
that actually still complain against the same Monaco ventures, because for you to a standard company that engaged the service of money at that period, at the pandemic time, of course, even federal government, state government, and even corporate bodies
Yes.
that engage the service of their staff discuss modalities with them. You can even see some doctors were
Yes,
trying
yes,
to
I see that.
protest that they need to be taken care of because
Yes.
of the risk they have taken at that period.
Yes.
And if there was no modality discussed as regards their service at that dangerous period, then I see no reason why the same company would lay off staff that were with them at the hot period. We all know it affected so many, including this organization, that within that period they're not working, and even some staff that were not working, they were not even paid. But if you were to consider on how we can resolve these issues amicably, you heard what this guy said. You wrote a letter 4th of May without previous notice. Then you now effect the same the same order within the month. It's not done. If that letter is written, effect from, you wrote a letter May or April and effect from May, that have been, consider, or like it might be something that some of the staff will consider. You wrote letter 4th of May and the letter have the effectiveness of the letter start the same May. Where is it done?
Madam, even when they wrote that letter, I don't know about it.
But I thought you were here to represent the company, so we would expect at least we'll have some positive response from you.
There are a lot of letter or correspondence that will come until it comes to me. When they were writing that letter, I don't know about it. We all saw the letter, they just sent it to us as a memo, and we all read it. So even those staff that has come to report, I don't even know them. I don't even have idea to that. The only day they came was when I got a letter. I said, yes, I have to handle this letter. And I was here before 10.
No, so I am not talking of here. I am not talking about our invitation letter. Yeah. I'm talking, I believe you were staffed a few days ago. The letter did not just come to you yesterday.
I understand.
Okay. If a letter, invitation letter was sent to you, I, as a representative of such an organization or company, you ought to have a meeting with your legal department or any other department that deemed fit to represent the body before you are being sent here. So if the effectiveness of this letter of a 20% cutoff of salary,
yes,
it shouldn't that letter, the effect shouldn't take off from that same May, because this letter was written, served 4th of May, and they also wrote that it will effect from the same month. There should be a pre-notice. 1 month, 3 weeks, at least 1 month. This is 4th of May. Subject review of salary.
And to take effect on
and to take effect from end of the month.
Good.
So it should be, because you've not even paid them this salary, the month salary, which I believe these staffs have started working already in the new month. And if you are to review salary,
yes,
if you are to review salary either positively to the staffs or reduction of salary, there must be noticed.
Madam,
so this notice, the staff have started working, and they don't, probably if you have given the notice, the company had given the notice prior to this May. Effect from next month, there will be a cutoff, 25% cutoff of salary because of the pandemic. Some of them may decide, okay, I will not work. I'd rather stay at home. Because why am I saying this? It affects everybody. And the transportation now, because of the rules of this pandemic, go higher. You pay twice or thrice of your transportation. Where you are taking, drivers are taking 8 or 9, they settled for 6. And that affects them, and it also affects the passengers that they are picking. So if you consider the transportation and the slash of the salary, it's not working. It's not working, and the effect of your letter is not also acceptable. They've started working, and that letter ought to have, you must have given them a notice, 1 month notice. From next month, this is what will happen. Then you pay them on the normal salary. He himself personally is already indebted to your company of 150,000. Then you might know somebody that have family, have children. He's paying you 15,000 monthly from his salary. Then he's being paid 30-something thousand. You minus 15,000 for his salary. You should also consider the pandemic. If you are collecting 15,000 naira from his salary as a debt, then you have to slash it into 3. Maybe you'll be collecting 5,000 naira. Now that you have reduced their salary, cut off 25% out of their salary, then you reduce the amount you'll be deducting from their salary from their debt, from the loan of the company. So you can't be removing 15,000 as it were when the salary was still 30-something thousand, and after cutting off 25%, you are still collecting 15,000 naira in a month. How does it work? How is the person? How do you expect the person feed his family, take his own personal responsibility, pick some bills, and still transport to the place?
I'm listening, madam.
Yeah, so I think I would advise to resolve this case amicably. Because
Tell me the way we are going to resolve
the result is this.
Yes.
If the company, because one, consider the fact that these people have rendered services to the company when they needed them most.
Okay.
That is number one. And they were not paid for such services. They risk their life, leave the place, go back to their various houses again, risk the life of their loved ones. By coming out, engaging with other people and still go back to their family again, all the families take risk of them coming out in that period. Let's keep that aside, because there was no modality discussed there, and that is not how things should be done in a proper way. That aside, number two, having considered the fact that these people did not stay back home within this period, they were rendering you the service, normal service, even if it's one day off, at least they render service. Then secondly, I believe this person have worked up to from 2015 to 2020. This is over 5 years. And you were given he was given an employment letter, so he's not just a passerby worker. He must have served the company diligently, and that prompted the company to award him as an excellent staff. Then another thing again, I saw where is this retirement? There is no gratuity.
Please, man, can I make a call here?
Just a moment, sir. To the first paragraph, you now to read as follows: every employee who has worked continuously for a period of 5 years and whose employment contract was brought to an end either by termination, resignation, retirement, and redundancy shall be entitled to gratuity as from the end of the 5th year of his or her service, in addition to pension fund contribution. Now you dismiss him. Where is it, this gratuity?
There was a memo to that effect as well. That something was tough. Can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
Up to how many months?
Are you in the office? That paper I supposed to have gone with, I forgot it. That gratuity of a thing. Can you forward it to my WhatsApp? Can you forward? Is it clear now? Can you forward it to my? The gratuity of a thing. That paper. I said I forgot it. Can you bring it to me? Can you send it to me? Yeah, exactly. The main one concerning the gratuities of a thing. That gratuity of 18, that's what they sent to us from head office. Send it to me, please.
So, aside that, I haven't considered the service of these young people, even if they have. Because the reason why we always consider reviewing staff salary are those that have patiently served companies, organization, and each time they ask for review of their salary or they feel paid and they respond back to the company, is something that the company ought to consider bringing them, having a round table talk. Because if you keep dismissing, you dismiss for somebody that have worked with you for 5 years and you want to engage service of another person, how comfortable, how reliable do you think the new staff will become? We operate to have staffs that will live longer or stay longer with the company without any questionable character. So if you have one and you have not really tagged these staffs as people that stole or engaged with any other thing that is not pleasant or acceptable to the company, it becomes just you wrote a letter of a cut-off salary, 25% cut-off salary, and they objected to it. Respond back in writing. I believe if the company is standard enough and being considerate to an extent, they ought to have called a meeting. I believe these people are supposed to have a union leader that should represent the body. Otherwise, yourself, I think you have been communicating with them, mediating between them and the company. You ought to have called them. Even when you have gotten a sack letter, you cannot just sack a staff without a previous meeting of the company, considering, it shouldn't even be. There should be a roundtable discussion. Okay, this is the reason why we are cutting off 25% salary of you people. If you don't consider, let it be at the decision of this person, an individual. We are resigning because we cannot cope. Okay, this is what we can pay you off. Thank you for the service you have rendered so much. So far. But terminating them as if they have no voice, or they have no say, or they have no right, is not good enough. I believe it's not a ghost that is heading the company. They have blood running in them that they should consider these people have rendered services. They shouldn't be sacked unlawfully like that. Let there be roundtable if you want to, because they have served you and you cannot just send them out to the streets. Let's discuss modality. If you want to reinstate them back and this is the amount, they cut off whatever. Now that he's complaining, he cannot be paying such amount of money back to the company from his debt he's owing, coupled with, because of the cut-off, 25% cut-off. If you stand on 25%, you can also discuss, because of the situation, hiking of things in the market, let's bring it to 20%, 15%. It's negotiable. It's something that you should negotiate.
Madam, can I ask a question, please?
Yes, sir.
I believe you've gone through that letter.
Yes. Yeah.
Before this pandemic, there was nothing like cut-off of salary.
I know.
And as a matter of fact, we said, instead of laying out staffs, please, let's cut off this 25%. Then after some time, we're going to revise it back when things normalizes. You can see that the economy is totally bad. So many companies have sacked their workers. And we say, no, we're not going to sack people. Just consider us for some time so that we'll revise it back again. Now, after seeing the letter, you didn't consider being the shoe of that person. You now went and meet up with your colleagues and decided to put up a letter, and you all signed.
I want to read that the letter, because the letter is not I cannot say it's not that offensive. I can say it's not offensive because it's the right of staffs to still respond back to letter given to them. This is the letter, right?
Have you sent it?
Sorry, this.
Yeah. It should be the respond to.
Okay, this is the letter they wrote. It said to the managing director. Sorry, sir, be careful.
Yeah.
The managing director, treat the administrative officer, the general manager, executive director, the driver, then from the driver Lagos office. Response to the memo of salary review. We, the Lagos drivers, are not comfortable with the new development. Reasons, they state the reason. We had worked for 4 years for increment which was not forthcoming. The nature of our work is peculiar and totally different from others. We have been managing the salary for years, believing that the management will remember us someday. Our work has increased for the past years, which at times we normally close in the night and even resume work at times as early as 5:30 a.m., in which all this effort was not compensated. We were 5 drivers in number in the workforce, and for the past 2 years, the management has reduced us to 4 drivers, making the work for us to increase on daily basis. The cost for living has increased, that is both in transport and food items. We are even the least paid workers in the industry and totally deserve to be considered. Even the called COVID-19 has even increased our workforce, which we now patrol almost on the daily basis, both day and night. So tell me, sir, from the tone of this letter, where have these people written an offensive statement to? One, they addressed you people properly. Secondly, they let you understand the reason why you should consider the cutoff. Cutoff 25%, don't cut off 25% has not been stated here. If they said, okay, these are the reason why you should consider them. And old staffs, there is always, even in tenancy, tenants that stays longer in the apartment that does not give problem or anything, always have, the opportunity of paying steady rent other than people coming in newly. Those that these people that have worked with you for years and they are drawing your attention, consider the fact that we have stayed with you for years, and for the memo you wrote to them, the letter you wrote to them for the reviewing of their salary, which they have been clamoring, asking for increment that have never come to being. Consider these facts, and among other things, please consider us and have a second thought towards your letter. Why just state one point where this letter is offensive? How is it an offensive letter? They should not write at all. They should not respond at all. They should concur to everything that the company says because there is no job in Nigeria, or because the economy has crashed, that nobody even can afford a day, a square meal a day.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
If we look at all the...
We will not be able to, you are contributing, we'll be able to hear you, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I should speak up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you don't mind if I turn on you?
You can.
Okay. Your name, sir?
My name is Louis Mobala.
Louis Mobala.
Mobala, yes. Louis Mobala.
Are you a barrister?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, external solicitor to Monaco Securities Limited.
Okay.
Yes. I want us to note something that this gentleman here, Mr. Adodo,
Yeah.
was not dismissed.
Was not dismissed.
He was not dismissed. His employment was terminated. In line with the contract of employment, it's clearly, they are all clearly stated in the documents before us. He was never dismissed. His employment was terminated. That is one. Then two, on the issue of the letter that they wrote to the company.
Yes.
Talking of the letter dated
14th May.
Let me bring it up. Yes, dated the 14th May. You see, this letter is in response to the memo from the company. Now, the company had already informed them that due to the situation in the country and due to our financial position, we will not be able to continue with your former salary. Therefore, the company is saying or suggesting that 25% of your salary or 20%, let me be very clear, 20% of your salary be cut off, pending when we get our feedback.
Hold on.
Yes.
20% cut off. The cut off 20%, is it going to be paid when they resume? They have to pay them back the cut off 20%, or the 20% cut off had to be permanent, that it can never be recovered by them?
This issue you are raising was not taken care of in the letter by either from them or from the company.
Okay.
It was not taken care of.
This is
It was
where...
not sorted out.
Okay.
And now, why the company resorted to terminating their employment was that they were insisting that the company should put them back to the former salary.
Hold on.
And
Hold on, sir. When you say who, you know, you are shaking.
Oh.
Can you?
Try to adjust it. I think your hand is touching that.
okay.
Sorry.
With deal as a lawyer, I believe you can only defend your client by evidence
Yes.
and by proof.
Yes.
Okay, we will not talk about a verbal conversation. We will talk about documentation.
That is true.
Okay, the documentation, the letter I have here,
Yes.
that is the response to the memo from the drivers. I have not seen where they stated reverse your memo or your letter to us to our normal salary.
No, what
They are
they
asking.
said,
Yes.
if we look at paragraphs, the last conclusion. If you look at the conclusion,
It say even
they say they are not comfortable. Say they are not comfortable.
Yes.
If you look at the, he said we are not
Where?
comfortable with the new development, which is the 25%.
Where are you?
So I'm at the last paragraph. That is
The
conclusion.
oh,
Look at
yeah,
it.
we are not, yeah, we are.
Conclusion say, with due respect, sir, I quote, I read.
Yeah.
He said, we the drivers in Lagos office are not comfortable with the new development. So which means they are totally rejecting the position.
You
of
are
the
not
government.
comfortable doesn't mean there is no room for discussion.
No, he said we are not comfortable with the new development. Hold on, madam. And we also believe that
Based on our reasons,
we deserve to
be considered.
That is, they deserve to be put back on.
No, you cannot listen, sir. You don't, I said in the beginning, the purpose of calling meetings here is to have a better resolution, not argument. Not that we don't know what to do, but if there is room for proper resolved and reconsideration, I don't think anybody will want to be stressing his or herself, going here and there, court and all sorts. This is a plain, this is a white and black statement here. None of them stated here, none of the paragraphs stated, no, you must take us back to the amount. Reconsider us. Reconsideration might be the company considering the 20% is too much. Can you make it 15? Can you make it 10? Can you make it 5? Can you make it 1? Can you take it off? Are you in that? I'm not asking you to direct. Excuse me.
I said you got it. I said
You have no reason to even interrupt anybody.
Yes,
You are the cause of the problem. I'm coming back to you. Can we take it back to normal amount or all? I mean, you understand? So the ground is open for negotiation between the company and his staff. None have said no. If you don't revert back to the normal salary, we will not work. None have said, can you, and the company offer, can we will take off 10% of 5% or 15% or 18%, and the drivers begin to protest and they refuse to come to work. It has not gotten there. So I don't see any reason why they should be terminated. I don't see no reason why they should be terminated. I believe what we should think of now, the company should have a revision of their memo and reconsider what percentage they think it will be fair enough for the drivers that have been with them for years, and reinstate them back. No work, there's no work anywhere. Let's stop increasing criminals in the streets. They have known these people for years and they have worked with them for years. So having their service all these years to the company without any questionable character, they should not terminate them just like that. It's unfair. Let's have a better roundtable talk to have this case resolved, please.
Mama, can you explain just what I want? Just one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, madam.
Go ahead.
You see, when you talk of working for about 5 years, there are people who, though I don't know the people who are coming to report as well. There are people who have started this work since 2013, and it affected everybody. The economy is totally bad.
Economy is totally bad,
Yes.
Oga, but let me tell you one thing. I keep saying it. That is for those that knows me. That is how I start. I will start until we get to where issue will begin to tightly. Let's find a better resolved ground. I know it affects, just like I told you, it affects so many other
Yes,
persons,
of course.
but let's just be considerate.
Okay.
Let's not terminate them.
Okay.
Let's consider other avenue. For the fact you had him that is owing the company 150,000. If you are taking off 20% salary off from them because things are not working okay, you can 20% of them you'll be paid how much now? 32. If they take 20% off from your salary,
25% off will be 32.
you said 20, he said 25. What?
What is
25%?
25%.
It's not cut off salary, yeah.
25%.
And it's not going to be
25% of
permanent.
from 45, 40 what?
43,200.
10% is 40.
43,200
200.
times 25 divide by 100. So 10,000. 10,800
Yes, ma'am.
from minus 43,200. That is left with
They
32,000.
will still deduct tax and pension from that 32.
And you now have how much?
They will deduct about 4,000 again from that 32 now.
32 minus 4,000.
Yes.
28.
28.
Then they will now deduct their 15.
You now take off 15. 13.
30,000.
How is it fair?
Madam,
Oga,
with due
how
respect.
is it fair?
With due respect. Ma'am.
Yes, sir.
You see,
How is it fair?
Before you can in the one when they say they are employing you, we have rules and regulations. Every company has their rules and regulations. The way
Yes.
they do. There is no gagging or there's no unionism in this company. Now, when you come up with such a thing like it circulates to every person, not only you. Why not come to me? You have said it here. You heard him that he respects me as a father. Oga, see, this is I will take help us. Maybe so that they will even cut this thing down for us to some amount. You did not do that. You just decide to meet up with your men. I don't know how many they are. And you
How many
decide to come up
drivers
with
do you have? How many did you terminate the appointment?
And 4 of them. And you were talking about having 5 drivers before. Now we reduce people to 4 drivers working tirelessly every day. There's one vehicle parked now going to since January it has been parked. Even the 5 drivers is talking about now, we have 4 drivers then, and we have just 3 vehicles, operational vehicles. Sometimes he comes to work, a day he may not drive because as a senior person. Sometimes a whole day he will not drive. We have just 3 vehicles, and I've never seen a situation whereby one driver will be driving 2 vehicles at the same time. You are driving to this side, you are driving to this side, 2 vehicles. It's not possible. So there's no way, as far as I'm concerned, that we have overused them. Because that is the statement that they overworked. As a matter of fact, that pandemic period, that lockdown, everybody was working, but we stated that operationals, that's the people in operations, will be on duty.
This Monaco, what are you into?
We are into security, madam.
Security.
Yeah,
You
provide
can
security.
imagine.
So
You
the
know how
people-
many security personnel that they killed during this pandemic?
God forbid, but it's not a portion.
It's not a portion,
Yes,
but
we have
they
never
saved
seen
that.
it We have not seen it happen, and it can never happen. So that's how it is, madam.
Okay,
And-
I want us to have a discussion. I want us to have a roundtable to reinstate these people back so that we will discuss the modality. We don't have issues of this termination and whatever. Okay, now that since he personally is still indebted to the company, let there be consideration on the amount that they are going to cut off from his salary so that it will not be this much and left him with no kobo. It's more or less like suffering and smiling. 13,000 naira is just too small for anybody to have as a take-home salary as a family man, even as a single person. Please,
Madam,
I want us to resolve.
Sorry.
His peaceful resolution I want here now. So I want us to resolve so that we can have other parties in and just have this in a table talk. Yes, barrister.
Yes, madam. Thank you very much for your effort.
Thank you.
You see, the issue of resolution of this matter is very good, and but one question is germane, and that question is this. You see, this relationship is contractual. For there to be a contract, parties must be, you know, addendum.
Yes.
Now, you're talking about reinstatement. The question now becomes, is the company willing to absorb them back, or are they willing to come back to the company?
That is, hold on now. When you talk about resolution, hold on the law, please. I would want us to discuss as a family. I would not want us, not that I don't know what to do or the legal step to take.
Madam,
but I said from the beginning we will prefer to have a peaceful resolution on this aspect.
Yes.
Have you met, hold on, have you been meeting this guy? How long? You said you are an external
solicitor to the company, yes.
To the company.
For quite a number of, he knows me.
And you equally knows him.
Don't you know me?
No, I ask you a question.
Yes, I know him. Yes, as a company driver.
Okay,
yes.
If you know him as a company driver,
yes,
treat this case as a family case.
Yeah, that is why.
Hold on. The reason why I'm saying, hold on.
That is why we are doing so, because if we talk about law, the company have performed their own rituals.
No.
In line with the contract of employment.
To you.
That is my position.
That is your position. If
it is left for the court.
Than this thing,
well, by the time we get to the court, it is left for the court to interpret. Because the provisions of the contract of employment is clear, and that is the basis for the relationship between him and the company. But we don't want to go into that. I don't want to go into that. Okay. What I'm saying is, you have suggested amicable resolution.
Yeah.
We are not averse to it.
Okay.
We are not averse to it. So what the question that I'm raising here is, now, for we to be able to resolve this matter,
yeah,
parties must agree.
That is what I'm saying.
So the question I'm asking,
we on our own,
is he ready to go back? Because you cannot, the Supreme Court has said that you cannot foist a willing employer or employee on an unwilling employer. If he's not willing to work anymore with the company, there's nothing the company can do. If the company is not willing to absorb him back, there's nothing anybody can do.
So that is why, if you are representing the body, told you before now, for some of you that will see case that ought to be resolved out of court amicably, and you just want to be tricking your client, going to court this and that and here and there, I don't think is better. A reasonable and a brilliant educated lawyer, I don't think that have much to do, will look into some cases and advise even their client that ought to pay them money for appearance, and let's resolve this case out of court for a peaceful movement. One, if I'm suggesting a better and peaceful resolution on this matter, I believe I have a role and I have a way of talking to our complainants and letting them seeing reason to why we say let there be a peaceful resolution. Then the gentleman that is presenting the Monaco company, security company here, will also have to go back and relate our discussion back to the company and let us have a roundtable talk, and once and for all to resolve. I don't think if the company have a better management, will not ask you, okay, started going to court for this issue that they know they can peacefully and successfully resolve without any hinges from both sides. That is my own take. Thank you. I think, what is that your name? Adodo.
Yes, ma'am.
You heard what I said.
Yes, ma'am.
We all understand the situation of pandemic in Nigeria.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Even while we are asking for peaceful resolution, we are still going to look into your own aspect for the fact that you collected loan from them.
Yes,
possibly they reduced the amount that they will be collecting from the loan from your monthly salary, so that you'll be able to pay it off. Pandemic cannot last forever. By His grace that everybody is praying, within a month or two or few days, God can intervene and the end will come and everything will go back to normal. You understand me? So let's not be arguing. You have worked, yes, it is your right to object, or it is your right to say no to an extent when you know things are not working okay for you. But if you are willing to go back, then we'll discuss a better modality on how things will be resolved. Just like he said. Because we cannot force you on the company. Same way we will not force the company back on you, but we just have to have a better resolution of this issue. You have worked with them. If they are too bad to you, I believe you will not be patient enough to work up to 5 years. I've seen drivers that have been working every 2 months. They keep moving from one company to the other. I believe there has been cordial relationship between yourself and the company that keep you all these years. So that relationship that keep you and the company, will still want to reinstate it back for a better tomorrow. Okay? Hello, sir.
Yes,
I believe you heard what I said.
I heard you very well.
Okay. Applicable to the company, if just like I keep saying, if he has been bad to you, you cannot keep him this long. If he has offended you by calling maybe any party, of course, those are the things, just like we can call it conspiracy.
Yes.
Those are the things that no company will want to tolerate it, no matter, even if it's an maybe a family affair issue. When 1 or 2 people conspired against one person, there is every room to reject and revoke, and that is, I believe, that is what must have prompted this.
Yes.
If you have issue, don't gang. Hold on. I know what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
I picked a statement from what you said. If you have issue in anywhere you are working, don't, as far as there is no union there. If it is union, you are permitted to have your union meeting with your union leader. But if union is not permitted in that place, don't join, not even with one person, to have one mouth against the policy of the company wherever you're working. If you want to have a personal approach, walk to your resources manager or himself or any other person that you deem fit having a good, better relationship with, lay down your complaint and see how the person can be of help. You can even speak on behalf of others, but you must be one person. Don't feel we as if you have created the union. And once you have created the union, then there is a room for coerce in a company, and nobody will want to tolerate that. So for every one of you that is involved, you must, after the round table, there must be a meeting, there must be an apology not to unite again for such tone of meeting later. If you're not comfortable approaching, sir, can you talk to the management on our behalf, even when you have not even spoken to the rest staffs? Or can you speak for yourself first? Can I be considered? Is there anything they can do for me? Give your point. I've been here for this, I borrowed for this, my family this, then. The person is not is not devil. I believe the person will listen to you and also see how he or she will communicate back to the management to give you a proper alternative consideration. Because those that have stayed long in a company, there's always room to listen to you than people that they just employed now. But if you destroy the relationship you built in the past years, then I don't know how you will still come and build it again in any other place you started, you intend working. So I think in a nutshell, not to be having again and again and again, I think other parties are available. Okay. We will have them, let me have them and talk to them so that we'll appeal to the house to talk to them, and if we get back, then it will be just like a meeting we'll have again, what the company have arrived at.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Spoken very well. Like you rightly said, I don't have a financing here.
Yes.
I will relate to my people.
Yeah.
Whatever decision
Where
they
are the
take.
parties?
Maybe there's every possibility for us to, maybe send a letter to people or come in person to see whatever decision they take. I don't have the financing on this thing. Like as I already said, if they have come to me I'm a listening person.
Oh,
I can always listen to
you are.
someone.
Let me just tell you one thing. You know, no matter what, you don't have a final say, but as I believe, as old as you are,
Yes.
that you are in that company,
Yes.
you have a word to say.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a word to say, they cannot keep you.
No.
By age, you are not a kid.
No.
By experience, you are not a kid. So that respect, they must accord you. So I am laying this in your hands to go and do your work. These people are still young, and you don't know when you are meeting them tomorrow.
Exactly.
Your children should be the one related to these young people in the nearest future, because the world is too small for anybody to just be having issues and say no in total to everything.
Yes.
Sit well. Yes. Yeah.
It's all right. So, okay. There's one to give this counsel.
Yeah.
Is it okay like this?
Yes, sir.
That was what I said earlier. And everybody think of me.
No, this nonsense.
You're not serious. How are you? Your name again?
Is it the only one?
If the second person, the next person is not here, I'm not going to call the case again, because I informed you people earlier before today. So whatever we discuss is what you relate back to your partner. You know this young man, right?
Yes.
Your name is Benga who?
No, Peter Elo.
Peter Elo. And you have are you not Dodo?
No, I'm Adodo.
Adodo.
Festus.
So what?
It's Dodo.
Oh, okay. We would not want to take ourselves back again, because we have deliberated much on this case, and I believe it's the same issue you are having, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is what we resolved at. We're appealing to the company, because you people have worked long there. They should please reconsider reinstating you back to the company. Are you willing to work there again? Okay, I'm not willing to work there again. Fine. So we can only speak on behalf of people that are willing to work for their reinstatement back. Then also consider the cutoff, 25% cutoff. Okay, so what is your own complaint now, since it's not
Okay. First, let me start from.
be brief. We have so many cases to be brief.
Let me start from the.
Because this one, your opening box, I don't know if what
I
you
wanted to
have.
bring out something. There's on my documents, this one that they gave to me, because I collected the loan.
Yeah.
Yes, of I asked for a loan of 150, they give me 100. I was have to be paying 17,000 naira every month. Okay, now the slashing came. You came up, you said I'm owing you, that I have a balance to pay of 10,000 naira. Now this 25%.
10,000.
Yes.
So you have been paying.
I've been paying. Yes.
So your balance now is 10,000.
Yes.
To pay them back.
Yes. So I'm coming up now. Now you said I have my loan balance is 34,000 naira. The salary they paid last month, I had nothing inside of it.
Why?
They didn't give me anything. I wasn't paid anything.
Why?
They deducted everything here. So now if the salary is, because if you say 25%, automatically from 40,000 naira, it will go back to 10,000 naira, 30,000 naira. Now, if you're saying my salary is 30,000 naira, my loan balance is 34,000 naira. I didn't collect any money, and you said I have 10,000 naira to pay back. How? I need an explanation.
Okay, is that, you heard what he said?
I'm listening.
I need an explanation for that.
He said he collected loan of 100,000
Yeah.
and he paid having a standing of 10,000.
Give her the data so I can go through it now.
Now, the outstanding that is there now is 34,000 naira.
So what you are saying now, that you are not owing?
I'm not owing because they didn't even the actual money I'm supposed to be paid. I'm not paid. The one that is slashed
The actual money you're supposed to be paid is 34,000.
is my actual salary, because based on what we wrote,
Yeah.
we did not agree, or we are not comfortable with the slashing.
Yes.
I don't think I'm supposed to be paid that 30,000 naira.
How much are you supposed to be?
40,000 naira is my salary.
What about the loan you are standing loan?
The outstanding loan is supposed to be 34. Now, if my point is, if my salary is 30,000 naira, right, And the outstanding
If
bill.
they cut off 20% from your salary, you have 30,000.
Yes.
If they cut off 25%,
yes, I have
you have 30,000.
Yes.
And your outstanding loan is how much?
34.
34. So you have to balance them 4,000.
But they said I'm to balance. They said I'm to balance them 10,000 something.
So how is
I
this?
am not the human resources manager, madam, with due respect.
Okay.
I'm not the person who prepared that letter. And that letter was not prepared here in Lagos. Our head office is in Kano, and also we have the GM working with the HR there. This letter was prepared there and sent down to this very place. So I'm just saying this letter now. I was just saying. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to work on this, maybe review, send this thing across to them for them to look into it properly.
Okay.
If our company is owing him, they are going to refund his money. If he's
It's not even, hold on. What
is
is even saying now, the company is not owing you, to you.
From this slashing of money now,
Yes.
from this slashing of salary now, the company is not owing you.
And you are owing company 4,000. So
And
what is your complaint now in
Now,
this office?
my complaint is, they said I'm owing now, I will balance them 10,000 something.
Instead of 4,000.
Instead of even 2,000, I got 17,000 naira into times 6. It's 102,000 naira.
Even the company cannot even ask you
You understand?
2,000 naira. So is that why you come to complain?
No, that's one side. Two, because you said we should not go back. You have discussed a lot of things. That's why. Because
What is your complaint?
my complaint now have been dismissed, right?
They said your appointment, let me see your dismissed letter.
Yeah, this is it.
This termination.
Yes.
This termination letter. This is not dismissed letter. Okay.
Termination letter. So now, I have been terminated, right? The things I'm entitled to, I'm not given.
Sir, what about their gratuity?
the same way that memo came was the same way that gratuity of the came. That was in 2019. I want to open it up so I can read it. I forgot to come with the. It's not I can go through it. Just scroll the way you can.
From managing director to all staff, subject suspension of leave allowance and termination of payment of gratuity. When is it later written?
2019. I don't know the month. I think it's there. Something is there.
The above subject matters refer the management of our great company after painstakingly reviewing the payouts made in view of leave allowance in recent time have decided to suspend the payment for now. The suspension shall take effect as soon as last batch for last year is paid out. In the same vein, the payment of gratuity has been terminated forthwith. This decision was reached because of the fact that the payout in a meeting form, these two transactions have affected adversely the company balance sheet. In the other word, it's no longer convenient and sustainable by the company. However, management shall consider the payment of leave allowance as soon as the company economy improves. That's I hope I will not say your company is a 419. How can you say you cancel somebody's gratuity after how many years? So pandemic starts this year, how many months? Then somebody that have served you for 5 years, you said that one is it's unacceptable now. It's not acceptable. We cannot negotiate that. The company will pay them. If the company is considering paying them their leave allowance after the economic setup or things improve, they ought to be paid their gratuity if things normalize. We will respond back to them on that. We will write to your company as regards to that aspect. Do you have anything to say?
Well,
that is
the
it.
gratuity thing, I need to look at the documents. I need to look at the document for me to be able to, make my own, form my own opinion on it.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
It's all right. That is how it's going to be. So if that is the complaint you are having, that one is non-negotiable. The company cannot terminate your gratuity because of coronavirus. Coronavirus will not last forever. Anytime economic come in place and normal, they should pay you people your gratuity and your leave allowance, because it's stated there your leave allowance is pending when everything stabilizes, which we can consider that is reasonable enough to think towards that aspect. But terminating it is not negotiable. They will pay it. Yeah. Any other complaint? It's all right.
Yes, ma'am. About my May salary, I was not paid, and the salary they wrote on my termination letter is 22,000. My salary is not 22,000. How did they come about 22,000? And I was not paid a dime from that salary from May.
No, you said yours have been covered. Is it not May salary? You said it has been covered now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Based on the slashing.
Yes, based on the slashing, yours has been covered. You are indebted to them of 2,000 naira according to you, which is going to revert back to the resources manager. Assuming the resources manager is in Lagos, would have been a better person also join with Mr. Richard to address it. Your May salary.
I was not paid.
Hold on.
That's not my fault.
Hold on. From what I understand, one, the memo was written on the 4th.
Yes, ma'am.
And they said the effect will take place from the same May.
Yes, ma'am.
Meaning your salary is supposed to be how much? 30.
Minus the 25%, I will be left with 28,000.
28,000
After deduction of tax.
after deduction of tax. And they were supposed to take 15,000 again.
Yes, ma'am.
15,000 from 28,000, that is about 13,000. You were not paid anything. Okay, sir, you've heard what you say.
I will find out to know. Like I told you, I will find out to know if I
know in our next meeting you will have a better response to so many of these questions and whatever. But anyway, we're not urging for more issues, but on the ground that you should relate our meeting with you and the law back to the house. For those that want to be reinstated back, you should please reinstate them back on the ground that they can cope with that situation, and also undertake not to have any other illegal union in the company. Then aside that, they should look into the area of their salary that have not been paid, the ones that they are entitled to, let them pay them. Then the third one, maybe I don't know if you need the paper, we can give you so that you can jot the points down as you are going home. Then the third one is, yeah, we understand the economy is not palatable now. If things peak, they should please have it in back of their mind that their gratuity for those that have left and their leave allowance will be paid back to them. We may not really, I don't think it's not acceptable. We will agree, we will believe pandemic will go as soon as possible for everything to go back to normal. Let them have at the back of their mind. For those that are going, they should prepare to pay them off of their gratuity and their leave allowance. Then, having considered this person again, they should please look into it and reinstate them back. This is your word, the last word.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
My leave that I went was supposed to expire this month June. I'm supposed to resume this week.
All these things now will be addressed properly by him. You have been communicating with the company via him. Still see him as that your mediator, that your uncle, that your brother that have not failed you there. After the meeting, still call him. Any other thing that, one, the company is angry, you people are angry. Both of you cannot be angry and have a better resolution. So now that you still want to work, and what you are complaining, there is every room that they will look into it. you might be calculating wrongly, they might be calculating wrongly. So until they have a better discussion, he will relate back to you. The company said, yes, we are owing, but this is your money. The company said, no, we are not owing, this is the reason. It's what they can easily explain. Okay?
Yes.
Madam, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
We really appreciate you. So, like I said, we'll go back and relate to the company. So that thing will come up with
Please, you sign this thing for.
Which one is this one?
Since you are
Okay.
here, they want, since you have already been covered.
I will sign up. Before I don't want to sign up. As I don't put my face for there. No, where I will sign?
Okay.
Here. Okay,
Yes.
and date. Okay. Yes,
Are you from Edo State?
I'll be typical Agbo man from Delta
Agbo.
State.
Godaye.
Odofure. It is today is 16.
Yes. This our stubborn lawyer is from where? We will meet in
It's
court.
not a stubborn lawyer.
We will meet in court. We
It's
know
a very,
when we
it's a
show
very
our
nice man.
hands. We will meet in court.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you very much. Please, you will sign your name here, please.
Okay, my name.
Here, your name.
Okay, no problem.
I need your phone number.
Today is
Today is